Becky. I am back with another process video. Today I'm going to be using some of the Kiwi Edition Project Life cards. At least I think they're all Kiwi Edition. I did kind of mix them together a little bit. I am going to cut these in strips and sew them together. So today I am doing class number 3 of the Techniques for Quick Layouts by Lisa Andrews. No, that's not true. That's a big fat lie. I'm doing class number 4 of Techniques for Quick Layouts by Lisa Andrews. So here I am. I'm trimming down these cards as I had mentioned. I'm going to piece them together to make the strips longer than 4 inches, because on the length side of the card they're 4 inches, on the width side they're 3 by 4s. So I'm going to stitch several of them together to make strips that are about 10 inches, some a little bit less. I am not going to show a whole lot of this. Now these differ in widths. Some are thinner, some are thicker. Here I am showing you that I punched out some circles as well from these cards. So this layout, as you can tell, is going to be strips of paper, and I didn't really follow the class in that, well, I wasn't supposed to use Project Life cards and stitch them together because the point of the class was to have a quick layout, and obviously that made it much longer. And the strips of paper I think are supposed to be smushed together. I don't know. There was a bunch of different things in the class, which is a paid for class, so I'm not really going to say, but it was a good class. If you are a part of or a member of big picture classes, then you can go ahead and take it. So I'm going to put the strips down with this Tombow aqua glue, and I think I used too much glue, or my glue is old and maybe a little bit runny or something, because my paper warped so bad. This is not my favorite layout ever, but I mean, I'm going to keep it because I think I've mentioned this before. I don't really throw layouts away, so I am going to keep it, but it is not my favorite, and I do not like how it warps so bad. And I don't know if it's the glue. This glue has never done this before, so it could have just been me. Maybe I was really heavy-handed at the time or something. So I'm going to continue gluing these down, and then I am going to trim off those edges of those papers that are hanging over on the side. I am going to set a heavy book on top of these to kind of weight it down, because even at this point, before the adhesive was even dry, I could tell it was starting to warp. That's the book I used, and it's still warped underneath it, but you know, I tried to not have it do that. It just didn't work that well. So I'm going to use several different pieces from my stash. Right here are the Cal Berteschi letters from Amy Tangerine, and my title is The Bouquet. These are 2 pictures. The one on the right is my son's girlfriend Bree, and she was holding my bouquet when I had gotten married, and the up close picture is of the bouquet. I just wanted some orange tulips for my wedding. In that morning, I had received some flowers at my door, and they were from my best friend Becky, so I pulled out the lilies that came in the flower arrangement she sent me, and I put them in my bouquet. I thought it looked really nice. Right here I am using some old chipboard backing. These were chipboard pieces, and this is just the remnants of them, and I used those to pop my picture up. Right here I'm showing you some old rub-ons. I think I got these in a D-stash. I am not 100% sure if that's where I got them or not, but I am trying to use them. They are difficult to get off the page. They're not totally useless. I mean, they did work, so you just had to do a lot of rubbing. So that's why you see a lot of transitioning on the video with the fade in and fade out, because it did take me quite some time to get them all rubbed on. This is kind of an aside. If you see those scissors right there, if you remember when Amazon had their flash sale a few weeks ago, that was one of the products, and they were a pair of scissors from Evergreen Art Supply. They're awesome. So right here I am still rubbing stuff down. I think this might be the last one I put down, and then I am going to move on to other embellishments. No, I'm a big fat liar. That was not the last one. I'm going to put a blue one down. And even more, apparently. I'm really determined to use these rub-ons up. Totally determined to use those up. So I am showing you what they look like up close. These are some old stickers from Recollections. These are from Doodlebug, and they are brads, and these are some old strips from Recollections. And by old, I don't mean 10 years old, maybe a couple years. So I'm going to go ahead and start making some embellishment clusters. I do make 3 clusters, and the big circles do hold the clusters. I build on those circles. I had cut apart those border strips, and there were some flowers and some butterflies, and I cut a couple of both off, and that's what I was just putting down around the page. They are white. You can't really see them that well, but they do add a little bit of texture to the page, and in the end I probably didn't need any more texture because these embellishment clusters I made off video, and they do have stitching on them. It's just layered circles with stitching and a word. Each of them have a word on them. The one at the top says treasure, over to the left says remember, and the one down by the flowers says beautiful. And I am going to go ahead and glue those down. That one is crooked, and it does not stay crooked. I eventually realize, oh, that's crooked, and I will straighten it up. So on the Cowbird Husky stickers or thickers, they do have these little black splatter looking like icons, and I do tuck those in around the page. I am going to do journaling in 3 different spots on here, and there it is. And right here I am going to go ahead and put down some of those Doodlebug brads. I do use several of the velvet textured hearts and a couple of the green circles that have little white polka dots on them. These I've had sitting in my stash for probably over a year, so this was a pretty good to be able to use those up. No, I didn't use those up, but to get some of them used. Right here I'm going to go ahead and use some Nouveau Crystal dots in, I don't know what the color is, I think it's pumpkin something, they're orange. And I'm going to put those around the page. And that's all I do to this layout. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.